You don't lose your future in one big mistake. You lose it in tiny moments when you stop believing you matter. I want to talk to you right here, right now, because if you are listening to this, it means a part of you is still awake, still hoping, still asking for more. Maybe 2025 tested you, maybe it humbled you, maybe it broke you in ways you never posted about. But listen to me carefully. You are still here, and that means your story is not finished. So let's talk about 2026, not as a year on the calendar, but as a decision in your heart. Before anything in your life truly changes, something quieter has to happen first. You have to decide, not loudly, not for the world, but privately in the deepest part of yourself. Clarity is not about having all the answers. It's about choosing a direction and trusting yourself enough to walk it, even when the fog hasn't lifted yet. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they're scattered, pulled in 10 directions, chasing approval, attention, validation, and success all at once. They wake up tired not because they worked too hard, but because they didn't know what they were working toward. Confusion is exhausting. It drains your spirit before it ever touches your body. I've learned that when your life feels noisy, it's usually because your purpose hasn't been named yet. You're doing many things, but none of them fully belong to you. You're reacting instead of choosing. And reaction is never power. Choice is. Clarity is an act of faith because it asks you to commit before proof arrives. It asks you to say, this matters to me, even when the outcome is uncertain. It asks you to risk being wrong in order to give yourself a chance to be right. That takes courage, real courage, the kind that doesn't come from confidence, but from honesty. You don't need 10 goals to feel successful. You need one true one. One goal that aligns with your values. One goal that still feels meaningful when no one is watching. One goal that brings you peace, not just praise. When you choose that goal, you are telling your heart to stop wandering. You are telling your energy where to go. You are telling your future, I'm ready to meet you halfway. Clarity doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up as a quiet, knowing that returns again and again, even when you ignore it, even when you're afraid of it. If an idea keeps knocking on your spirit, it's not there to distract you. It's there to claim you. And here's the truth people don't like to hear. Clarity will cost you something. It will cost you options. It will cost you distractions. It will cost you the comfort of keeping doors open just in case. But what it gives you in return is focus. And focus is freedom. Because once you know what you're aiming for, everything else becomes simpler, not easy, simpler. You stop explaining yourself. You stop comparing your timeline. You stop chasing what looks impressive but feels empty. You begin to move with intention. And intention changes the way the world responds to you. Clarity also requires silence. You cannot hear your own truth if your life is constantly loud. If every moment is filled with opinions, expectations, and noise, your inner voice will always be drowned out. Sometimes clarity comes only after you step back, after you say no, after you sit alone with your thoughts and let the discomfort pass. And when it does, something beautiful happens. Your fear starts to lose its power, because fear thrives in confusion. It feeds on uncertainty. But when you name what you want, fear no longer controls the conversation. It becomes just one voice, not the loudest one. Choosing clarity doesn't mean you'll never doubt yourself again. It means doubt no longer decides for you. You move anyway, you trust anyway, you walk anyway. That is faith. Not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward with purpose despite it. So if 2026 is going to be different, it won't start with more effort. It will start with a clearer heart. With one honest question, what do I truly want to build? Who do I want to become? And what am I willing to commit to? even if the path unfolds slowly. When you answer that, even imperfectly, you've already begun. Because the moment you choose with clarity, you stop drifting. And the moment you stop drifting, your life finally starts moving forward. There comes a moment in every journey when excitement fades, when the vision that once lit you up starts to feel heavy, when the applause disappears and you are left alone with the work. That is the moment most people stop. Not because they can't continue, but because they were depending on motivation to carry them. Motivation is beautiful, it's emotional, it's inspiring, it makes you feel powerful in the beginning. But motivation is not loyal. It shows up when things feel good and disappears the moment life becomes uncomfortable. Discipline is different. Discipline stays. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it asks who you decided to be. I learned early that waiting to feel ready is a dangerous habit, because readiness is a feeling, and feelings change. Some mornings you wake up strong, some mornings you wake up tired, discouraged, unsure. If your progress depends on how inspired you feel, your growth will always be inconsistent. Discipline is not punishment, it's self-respect. It's choosing to show up for yourself on the days you feel invisible. It's keeping promises you made to your future, even when your present feels heavy. It's doing the work quietly, long before the world notices. There were days when confidence wasn't there, days when doubt spoke louder than belief, days when I questioned if the effort was worth it. What carried me through those days wasn't passion, it was routine, simple, grounded, repetitive routine. I showed up because that's who I said I was going to be. Discipline removes drama from progress. It doesn't argue, it doesn't complain, it doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It simply acts, and action repeated consistently becomes momentum. Here's what most people don't understand. Discipline is deeply spiritual. It's faith in motion. It's trusting that the small things you do today will compound into something meaningful tomorrow, even when you can't see results yet, even when growth feels slow, even when no one is cheering you on. Every time you show up when it's boring, you strengthen your character. Every time you show up when it's hard, you strengthen your faith. Every time you show up when no one is watching, you strengthen your future. You don't need extreme routines or perfect habits. You need consistency. You need to decide that certain actions are non-negotiable, that no matter how the day feels, you will still honor your commitment, that you will still take the step, still make the call, still do the work. Discipline doesn't mean you never rest, it means you don't quit. It doesn't mean you ignore your emotions, it means your emotions don't run your life. There will be moments in 2026 when progress feels invisible, when effort doesn't immediately turn into reward. That's when discipline matters most. Because discipline teaches you to trust the process, not the applause. And something shifts when you live this way. You stop relying on external validation. You stop needing constant reassurance. You begin to feel grounded in yourself, steady, unshaken, because your confidence is no longer based on results, it's based on integrity. You know who you are because you show up as that person every day. Discipline also protects your dream. It shields it from mood swings, distractions, and self-doubt. When you build structure into your life, your dream doesn't depend on chance anymore. It depends on choice, and choice is power. Over time, discipline becomes identity. You're no longer forcing yourself. You're simply being yourself. Someone who finishes what they start. Someone who honors their word. Someone who understands that success is not built in bursts of inspiration, but in quiet seasons of consistency. So when motivation leaves, and it will, don't panic. That's not failure. That's the invitation. The invitation to rise on something deeper than feeling, something stronger than excitement, something unshakable. Let discipline carry you forward. Let routine become your anchor. Let consistency become your prayer. Because if you keep showing up, even imperfectly, even quietly, even slowly, one day you'll look back and realize something extraordinary happened. You didn't just reach your goal, you became the kind of person who could. At some point you realize that exhaustion doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from doing too many things that don't matter. From saying yes when your spirit is tired. From showing up where your heart is no longer present. From stretching yourself thin just to avoid disappointing others. Focus demands courage, and courage often looks like saying no. Not the loud kind of no, not the angry kind, but the calm, grounded no that comes from self-respect. For a long time, many of us are taught that being available makes us valuable, that being agreeable makes us lovable, that being needed makes us important. So we say yes to conversations that drain us, to commitments that pull us away from our purpose, to distractions dressed up as opportunities. And slowly, quietly, our own goals get pushed to the side. Every yes costs you something: time, energy, attention, life force. And when you don't choose consciously, those costs add up. You look back and wonder why you're tired, why you feel behind, why your dreams feel distant. It's not because you weren't capable, it's because you were overextended. Saying no is not rejection, it's alignment. It's choosing what matters most and letting everything else fall into its rightful place. It's understanding that you cannot build a focused life if you keep living in reaction mode. Focus requires boundaries, and boundaries require honesty. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. Not every invitation is meant to be accepted. Not every voice deserves a seat at your table. And that doesn't make you selfish. It makes you intentional. When you say no to what doesn't align, you say yes to your future. There is guilt that comes with this at first, especially if you are kind-hearted, especially if you care deeply, especially if you're used to putting others first. But guilt is often just a sign that you are growing out of old patterns. It's the discomfort of choosing differently. You don't need to explain your no to everyone. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need permission to protect your focus. Your dream is enough reason. Distractions rarely announce themselves as enemies. They come softly, as favors, as fun, as urgency, as just this once. But every time you step away from your goal, it becomes harder to return with the same intensity. Momentum is fragile. Focus is precious. And here's something important. Not all distractions are external. Some are internal. Doubt, overthinking, comparison, the constant urge to check what everyone else is doing. These steal your attention just as quickly as people or commitments do. Learning to say no also means learning to be alone with your thoughts. To sit with boredom without reaching for noise. To trust that stillness is not stagnation, it's preparation. When you protect your time, something changes. Your mind becomes clearer. Your energy becomes steadier. Your confidence becomes quieter but stronger. You begin to hear yourself again, and that voice, your own, is the one that knows where you're supposed to go. Focus is not about cutting joy out of your life. It's about choosing deeper joy over momentary pleasure. It's about understanding that short-term comfort often comes at the cost of long-term fulfillment. There will always be people who don't understand your boundaries. Let them misunderstand. You are not here to be consumed. You are here to create, to build, to grow. The people meant to walk with you will respect your no. They may not like it, but they will respect it. And the ones who don't were benefiting from your lack of boundaries anyway. In 2026, your life doesn't need more access points. It needs more direction. Say no to what drains you. Say no to what distracts you. Say no to what pulls you away from who you are becoming. And say yes, fully, boldly, unapologetically to the work that calls you forward. Because focus is not found, it is defended. And the moment you learn to protect it, your life begins to move with power instead of pressure. There are memories we carry that don't belong in the present, but we drag them forward anyway. Old mistakes, old choices, old versions of ourselves that didn't know better yet. And without realizing it, we let those moments sit in judgment over who we are becoming. The past has a voice, and if you're not careful, it will speak louder than your future. Many people believe growth means erasing what went wrong, pretending it never happened, moving on as if pain didn't leave a mark. But that kind of forgetting doesn't heal, it only hides. Real growth comes when you stop fighting your past and start learning from it. Your past is not a courtroom, it's a classroom. Every failure taught you something strength never could. Every disappointment refined your discernment. Every wrong turn showed you what no longer works. But when you turn those lessons into labels, you trap yourself. You stop evolving because you're too busy punishing. Some of you are still replaying moments that are already over. Conversations you wish you handled differently. Decisions you made before you had the wisdom you have now. People you trusted who didn't stay. And you tell yourself, if only I had known better, but you didn't. And that's the truth you must make peace with. You made the best decision you could with the awareness you had at the time. Growth is not about judging that version of yourself. It's about honoring it for surviving. Shame is heavy. It slows your steps. It makes you doubt your worth. It convinces you that you have to earn redemption through suffering. But shame has never made anyone stronger. It only makes them smaller. What makes you stronger is forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean excusing everything. It means releasing the belief that you deserve to be punished forever. It means understanding that pain was part of your preparation, not proof of your failure. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to become someone your past doesn't recognize. The danger of living in regret is that it keeps you anchored to a place you were meant to pass through, not live in. You can't build a new life while staring at old ruins. You can respect where you came from without staying there. And listen to this carefully. Carrying guilt does not make you more responsible. It makes you less present. When your mind is always behind you, your energy cannot move forward. There are chapters in your life that ended for a reason. Not because you weren't enough, but because they were complete. You learned what you needed to learn. You felt what you needed to feel. And now it's time to turn the page. Growth asks you to release the identity you outgrew. To stop introducing yourself by your worst moment. To stop letting old wounds speak for your future. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. You are in transition. And transitions are uncomfortable because they require trust. Trust that who you are becoming is more important than who you were. Trust that wisdom earned through pain is not something to hide, but something to carry with grace. Your past only has power if you keep handing it the microphone. The moment you thank it for the lesson and take the mic back, everything changes. You walk lighter. You breathe deeper. You stop apologizing for existing. Let go of the need to prove that you've paid enough for your mistakes. Growth is not a sentence, it's a gift. In 2026, don't drag old guilt into new opportunities. Don't let regret sit in the passenger seat of your future. Learn from what happened, bless it, and release it. You don't owe your past your future. You owe your future your presence. And when you finally allow yourself to move forward without shame, you'll realize something powerful. The very things you thought disqualified you were the things that prepared you. You were never meant to stay who you were. You were meant to become who you are now brave enough to be. And that is not something to apologize for. As you rise, there's a quiet danger that follows ambition. It's subtle. It doesn't announce itself as pride or arrogance. It shows up as restlessness, as never feeling satisfied, as always chasing the next milestone without ever honoring how far you've come. That's why gratitude matters more than people realize. Gratitude is not complacency. It's grounding. Without it, success feels hollow. Progress feels rushed. Life becomes a race with no finish line. You achieve one goal, immediately move the bar, never allowing yourself to feel the joy of arrival. And slowly, the thing you once prayed for becomes the thing you complain about. Gratitude brings you back to yourself. It reminds you that nothing you have is accidental. That every opportunity, every lesson, every open door came through effort, grace, and timing you didn't fully control. It softens your heart without dulling your ambition. It keeps you human while you grow. When you practice gratitude, you stop measuring your life only by what's missing. You start honoring what's present. The strength you didn't know you had. The resilience that carried you through nights you thought would break you. The second chance you never earned but still received. Gratitude shifts your energy, and energy shapes outcomes. A grateful heart moves differently. It doesn't rush from lack, it moves from abundance. It doesn't chase validation, it attracts alignment. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it. Peace settles into places where anxiety used to live. This doesn't mean you ignore your desires. It means you pursue them without desperation. You understand that wanting more and appreciating what is can coexist. In fact, they must. Gratitude teaches patience. It reminds you that growth takes time, that season change for a reason, that waiting is not wasted time. It's often where character is built. When you are grateful, you stop resenting the process. You stop asking, why is this taking so long? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That shift changes everything. There were moments when I had very little, but I was rich in perspective. And moments when I had much more, but needed gratitude to keep me balanced. Because no matter where you are on the journey, there is always something to appreciate. Even pain carries wisdom. Even delays carry protection. Gratitude also protects you from comparison. When you are truly thankful for your path, you stop wishing you were on someone else's. You understand that their journey required sacrifices you may not want to make, and yours carries gifts they may never experience. You stop scrolling with envy and start living with intention. And here's something deeply important. Gratitude strengthens faith. When you acknowledge what has already worked out, you trust that what hasn't yet will come in its time. You remember past breakthroughs, past rescues, past moments when things aligned unexpectedly, and that memory becomes fuel for belief. In moments of uncertainty, gratitude anchors you, says, I've been carried before, I will be carried again. This doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become steadier. You stop letting circumstances dictate your inner state. You learn to hold peace even while striving. That balance is rare, and it is powerful. In 2026, let gratitude be part of your daily discipline, not just for the big wins, but for the small mercies. The quiet mornings, the strength to try again, the people who stayed, the lessons that hurt but healed you. Say thank you for what didn't break you. Say thank you for what taught you patience. Say thank you for the version of you that didn't give up. Because when gratitude walks with you, ambition stops feeling lonely, success stops feeling heavy, and growth starts feeling meaningful. You rise, but you stay rooted. You move forward, but you remain grounded. And that is how you build a life that doesn't just look successful, but feels whole. Your life is not guided by luck. It is shaped by faith, intention, and the choices you make when no one is watching. You don't need to see the whole path to take the next step. You only need the courage to trust that what is meant for you will meet you when you move with honesty and discipline. Hold your vision with patience. Walk with humility. Serve with love. And stay faithful in the small things. Because that is where greatness is quietly formed. When doubt rises, return to belief. When fear speaks, answer with action. When the world rushes you, stand firm in your purpose. You are not called to shrink, to rush, or to copy someone else's journey. You are called to rise, fully, faithfully, and in your own time. So don't just hope for a better future. Build it with your hands, your heart, and your faith. Because when you move with purpose and trust the timing of your life, nothing meant for you will ever pass you by.